Sultan Mehmed Fateh, he didn't wait for Istanbul to open. He fought, no? This is your ego. Oh, subhanallah, what? For the sake of Allah, you expect Allah to open it for you? Did it ever happen there in 1400 years of Islamic history? We just sit there, pull the tasbih and say, Allah, open it for me, don't do nothing. Is that what Holy Prophet ﷺ did? Even he went and he fought even when they sure that they're all going to fail, except that he has Allah. You think it was easy for him? It wasn't easy for him. If it was easy for him, why did he make that prayer before the Battle of Badr, begging Allah to grant him victory? Why does he still beg Allah for victory, even when he knows he's Rahmatul lil Alameen, even when he knows that Allah will send angels? Why does he? Because he knows he's a servant and Allah is Lord. Allah will do as he likes. He knows that. Because that one, he says, Allahu Akbar. Not us, we expect it. We say Allahu Akbar. I pray, so bring me Jannat. Right? I pray so much, so I have so much sawab I must have. What kind of in reality, let me not say shirk. How can you then decide for Allah? Because Allah says to the Prophet too. Why the Prophet is having this kind of manners? That we don't argue with Allah too. Allah not. We don't say, I did this, why are you not giving me that? So many people are doing that. I pray, I do this, why are you doing this to me? That shows how stupid the person is. If anything happens in dunya, something wrong happens to him, he will try to find out what happened in the dunya that caused him to be like that. He's not just going to say, oh, it's one big conspiracy. So he didn't just wait for an opening to come. He went ahead. He did not accept anything in front of him. They put the chains in the sea. They say, you cannot. He didn't accept that. He didn't say, well, if Allah wants, let's all pray for a miracle for the chain to open. He did not say that. He did not do that. And when he did not take his Lord for granted like that, Allah made a miracle to happen through his hands. First, they said, our king, there is a sea that is in front of us. And he said, why don't you take the sea out? And he wasn't that easy, you know. We look at him with pictures and this, but he was a very difficult person, because to have that kind of a vision, to have that kind of a job, to have that kind of a work, you have to have very strong people around you. You cannot just be nice to people. And they were opposed to him. So many of them, they were. But he says, no, because it is the most difficult thing to do. They said it's impossible. They said, okay, if you cannot go by sea, if my ships cannot sail through the water, it will sail through the mountains. And he did that. Overnight, he brought 70 ships. So it does happen. How did it happen? Because he did not find anything impossible in front of him. He pushed through. He didn't give himself any excuses. Well, this is the thing. Sultans don't give themselves. It's impossible. Kings, it is impossible. People who have honor, it is impossible to give any excuse. They never give any excuse. People who have honor, they never give excuse. Either they do it or they don't do it. They don't say, why I cannot do it. They don't. Because the point is, who cares for your explanation? Because the job has been given to you. Who is giving you to that job? The one who knows you can do it. The one who is supporting you. The one who knows your capability. The one who has created us. So when we say we cannot carry, then we're doubting his words. To doubt Allah like that, yes, it is to stand in front of Allah. As Shaitan did, Allah say bow, he says, no, I'm not going to bow down. You made a wrong judgment. I bow down only to you. You're not going to accept anything in front of you that time. You're just going to go ahead. Sultan Mehmed Fatihan, as we should be doing, is a high intelligent person. He's not just with a belief, he's just going to go, he look at every angle, he consider this and consider that. You understand? He's not just with, oh, don't worry, miracles are going to happen. No, you know the Turks, they don't function like that. But because you have that niyat, you have that azam, then Allah may cause wonderful things to happen. Because Allah is still the creator of the opening, and Allah is still the creator of the satr. Not that emperor who put the chains. Allah is the one who has the power over that. You understand? You don't take no for an answer. No. Maybe you cannot do it now, you do it later. Maybe you cannot do it later, you do it next year. No, something. But you don't give up. And you don't give yourself any excuse. You give yourself too much excuses. This is the point. How are you raised? Either the people around you, or it's in your blood, or your teachers, or your parents, or your friends. They're not really interested in whether you give any excuse or not. Either you can do it or you cannot do it. If you say you can do it, you do it. If you cannot do it, that means you gave a wrong word, and that is dishonorable. No one is forcing you. If you say you cannot do it, then you cannot do it. But if you say you can do it, you do it. So, Islam teaches us honor. Islam means what? A believer. Not high-class people, not rich people, not high-born people, not peasants, not everyone. Everyone, a believer, everyone. It can be anyone. His word is his honor. And once he gives his word, everyone is protected by his word. Even the unbelievers, they're protected by his word. Not today's Muslims. Huh? Today's Muslims especially in the business world, they say don't deal with the Muslims. I say openly, they say, I'm not saying it, they're saying don't deal with the Indians and the Pakistanis, don't deal with them. With business, because they always, no. Correct? I'm not saying it, huh? Don't stop blaming me now. Correct or no? They're saying that about the Arabs too, let's not. So because were they always like this? No, we were not. They're not saying that about the Turks though. How do we do this? We must have our word. Our words must mean something. When we say yes, we will help you, we will help you. Not to say, because of this, because of that. You understand? Yes, this is part of Islam. This is definitely part of tariqat. Yes. Otherwise, you can go up and down as much as you want, but you've already broken people's hearts. You've already taken people's rights. You've already broken promises. In the past, it used to be, inshallah means I promise. In the past, when you say inshallah, it means I promise with Allah's support, if He lets. First is you, I want to do it with Allah's help and with His support. Nowadays, inshallah means maybe. Inshallah means whatever. There is no commitment there. Understand? When you invoke the name of Allah, how can you invoke the name of Allah and say, I'm not sure? Huh? Yeah. So, wake up a little bit. Don't give yourself any excuse. Either you can do it or you cannot do it. Allah has given us so much, we can do so much also. So I'm not accepting where Nazim is not here. I said, no, either you can do it or you cannot do it. You say you can do it, okay. Now my next question is, when? I don't need to know nothing. When? To talk so much is just women's. You understand? Men shouldn't be talking so much. Of course, today men's are worse than women's. You say you can do when. You see how I speak? Usually people, I say, when? When? I give you time. You say, okay, in 1 month. I give you 2 months. You know me. When you still don't do it after years and years, then yes, that time I will get up. That time I will start saying you're a donkey, you're an idiot. I have the right, no? Because this is the work of Allah. Are we understanding? You are playing games with the work of Allah. Let me not say that too much. Huh? Otherwise you'll be crushed by it. Okay. Astaghfirullah. Of course, there are exceptions. Of course, some of you, so many of you, you are running to do your best. And I'm seeing that too. That you're fighting against yourself, you're fighting against the negativity around you, and you're doing it. Sometimes you fall a little bit and you get up. I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned if you fall a little bit and you get up, no. I'm concerned when you pretend that you're falling and then you sit there for years. I'm dead, I'm falling. That I'm very concerned about, you understand? Because you're harming yourself. So, inshallah, may Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Al-Fatiha.